Hello everyone, quick chart review for today. A couple of scalps for me today, both winners thankfully, so the account is now pretty much out of drawdown. After that first tilt session on the first day of the account, we've recovered it and now back to square one of drawdown, which is the good news. And hopefully we can avoid further tilt damage and not return to the drawdown dungeon. But in any case, I came in this morning and we dumped quite heavily in the overnight session. And at the time, I was quite happy to draw this wider down channel. It looked quite good. I did draw the narrower one here as well, break new low, couple legs to a new low, so accepting that might be the case here. And I was at my desk during pre-market. I think I might have missed a good trade here. So I did have a wider channel here, and then we start correcting quite strongly. Now at first as well, I drew this from the wick bottom and had it quite tight. So going up, break new high. And then we get this correction. Like, quite honestly, at this point, I was looking for a failure to look for a new low of this potential wider channel. And I also wasn't sure of this short-term channel, which now I can draw it relatively tight where it's a break new low. And it is two broad legs. Really nice strong candle. So, and it works very nice for a scalp. So that's potentially a trade I missed because of my read. I had a wider down channel, had this short-term channel very tight with a break new high, and had this potential correction, which I think I had more like this initially. So just a couple of things I think I need to watch out for, but I wasn't too upset or annoyed with myself about missing this potential trade because I thought, well, I had my read and that's good enough. So market opens, and initially we had a very slow open again. We start to trend up again, just with very small bars. Yeah, just nothing really to trade in here, having to stay patient, break new high. And then my first trade comes. So we come here, make a new high of this up channel, and then we come down, and we get a technically second entry here, but it's making a new low. Then we get a first entry short, second entry short off the EMA, finishing strongly, nicely below the EMA, big bear bar, off a potential channel. So I wasn't sure at the time, but you might just draw this narrower one, break new low. But I felt with the context of the potential wider down channel and this strong rejection of the EMA, I felt we would get at least another push down for a scalp, at least. So second entry short, and off a potential trend line. I took 10 ticks here. ATR was just above 3, so if the ATR is above 3, I like to go for just 10, at least 10 ticks. Squeeze a little out of the scalps a bit more. And yeah, got that on 2 candles later. And if I'd had a runner, could have maybe taken around 8-10 points there, but yeah, I was back to 1 mini. So yeah, no runners, just scalping out, which to be honest, I feel a bit better about. Runners kind of shouldn't get stressed about runners because you've got the scalp, but always a bit painful to see money on the table that then just evaporates when a runner gets stopped out. But in any case, if this down channel's right, which I'm kind of doubting now looking at the price action, we do get a strong overshoot here. And then we come into some congestion. I wasn't really interested in here. And another correction, so it feels like maybe 2 legs of correction. Well, a bit more on the second leg there. And then comes my second trade, which I think I kind of jumped into without a very good read. I had this downtrend in play. Overshoot, I let the overshoot play out, and then we get an extremely strong lower high below the EMA. Closes very strongly on its lows. I'm expecting a low, a new test of these lows. And I took this trade, but then again, a potential failing in my trading is not analyzing the risk before jumping in. This was 5.5 points, which in pretty slow day again is a huge amount of risk, which I shouldn't be taking when it's not a clear-cut second entry short or failure, reversal, lower high. It's not as high win rate as the other setups in PATS. And this one's, for Mac, this has probably moved too far. I've seen Thomas Wade take these type of lower highs, so you could also say it's like a lower high confirming a second entry short, but maybe I was too trigger happy there and maybe should have waited for a better setup. In any case, I got 12 ticks here. Because of a risk, I decided to move my take profit a bit more, or 2 ticks more. Felt we had enough room to these lows, and thankfully got the 12 ticks there before a pullback, which I would have had to have ridden out. Yeah, overall, I don't know if I like the trade now. I think I just saw, oh, it was a big bear bar. It's a lower high. We have to take it, which yeah, maybe was not the best analysis, but it is what it is. So I called it a day there. I thought those were 2 good scalps, 110 ticks, 112 ticks. The account is out of drawdown. And I thought if I take another trade and it loses, I know that I'm going to try and fight it back to, or fight it out of drawdown again, and that could just lead to disaster. So I thought, well, after that first disaster day on the PA where I hit the daily loss limit of $500, with a couple of days of micros, and now today on a 1 mini, got it out of the drawdown, so that's a win for the day. And come back fresh tomorrow, and hopefully be in a good position for me. So I didn't chart live the rest of the day, and coming back, it was pretty difficult to chart in hindsight. So we have a potential new low of this channel, but then we kept going down, so yeah, but maybe you have to just play the short-term channels here. There's a lot of congestion here. And then we have this down channel, break new low, correction, another channel low. I marked a couple of could-be trades. If you're confident of this wider down channel, which again, I'm not so confident about here, you might think with a first entry short, second entry short, and now a lower high. And you could maybe argue at the time, this is also like a triple test. So that's maybe a potential trade there if you think we're going to go for these lows again. And yeah, enough for the scalp there. But not, would I take it in real time? Not sure. When we come down, and I mark this sort of higher low just because it feels like a Mac trade. I wouldn't have taken it. I think by this point, I would have been playing this wider down channel, knowing myself, trying to chart as I think I would have. But yeah, really strong higher low there. So I wouldn't have taken it because I would have had this down channel in play, but just trying to identify a trade that Mac might mark. I marked this short because, quite honestly, I think I would have got trapped here. Because I would probably have played this down channel, and you get a first entry short, second entry short. Doesn't trigger initially on this bar, but you get the trigger on the next bar, equal lows. Yeah, I think I might have been trapped here, because then it would have triggered, and it would have went in the other way, and maybe Mac might mark the failure on this candle. I'm probably guessing that he doesn't even have this wider channel. He just plays the narrower channels. So again, I've said that in the other videos. These wider channels, I really need to, yeah, watch out on that, because I'm taking a lot of losses because of that. Taking these type of wider channels which don't exist. And this one would have been really tempting because it's right off the EMA, right off the trend line. So that's something I need to watch out for when my chart reading is not drawing shit wide channels which are not in play. But in any case, you get this sort of wider uptrend now, probably confirmed by this failure. Break new high. Technically, you get a lower high on this candle. But would you be considering a range at this point? Maybe. Maybe you're thinking, if there's down channels in play, maybe you are considering a new low. But you are quite sideways here. So, again, in real time, would I take it? Maybe not. And it's engulfing the bar below, so before, so some negatives there. And we come along here, like through this down channel here. And again, through this is sort of like a potential trade. So we have this down channel, first entry short, second entry short. But it closes right on the EMA, and by here, you're probably considering a range. So, and this had a break equal low, so again, some negatives there. But if you're confident of a new low here, you might consider it. But yeah, I think I wouldn't, because double bottom, I reset the count. And yeah, I didn't really see anything else. We chopped about in this range, it seems. And yeah, nothing really there that I would consider. You have a break new high, lower high here. But again, if you're confident in a range here, you might be a bit concerned that we're going to the EMA and it might recoil and go to the top of this range. If indeed it's a range. Pretty confident there is a range in here somewhere. And then, yeah, we have come down for the test again of the bottom of the range, and then we go up. And yeah, later in the day, I didn't see anything. But again, quite happy with these two scalps, and yeah, the account's out of a drawdown. Yeah, I just, considering where I am on the journey, I really need to start producing results. 2.5 years in, few free payouts of $500, but completely consumed by the eval and PA fees. And I kind of feel my life's been a bit too much on hold, or on hold for too long. Projects I want to do, things I want to do around the house, with my wife, plans, projects. And I kind of feel I just have it all on hold by just teaching English part-time to pay the bills and using all of my other time on this. And it's not producing results for now. I don't want to put pressure on myself, but really in a certain way, time is up on the BS of tilt revenge trading. This needs to produce results, I need to be producing progress, results. I don't mean to have a payout tomorrow, but I need to be progressing. I need to be progressing in my risk management, my tilt, and my revenge trading, because if I'm to continue doing this. 2.5 years isn't a long time, but I know, or I've seen a lot of people that have been at this 1 or 2 years and it's regular payouts. And now I'm 2.5 years in almost, and I'm last October 2025 was my last payout, and it's the longest I went without a payout since my first one. And yeah, time's up. So good day today, out of drawdown, but seriously need to start producing results here and progress quickly. So that's the goal for the rest of April, and well, April's over pretty much. That's the goal for May. No tilt, no revenge trading, just head down, A+ setups, take scalp, accept a loss, and hopefully in May we can see some sort of payout. I don't want to push it, I don't want to stress, I don't want to only focus on that, but we have to have progress that leads to that. So it's been 3 positive days since a really bad tilt session. So I just need to continue like that. Hope you had a good trading day as well, and see you tomorrow. Peace.